Hey dudes, this is Django, and I'm not here by myself. I'm here with this other guy, Black Cyborg. Say hi.
Hey everybody!
Hey! We're gonna run down a review
Hi.
of the... Hi.
Hi.
Hi. We're gonna...
Quickly just evolving into...
I'm keeping it. I'm keeping all of it.
No, this is... Keep everything. Never change who you are.
I'm gonna keep you guys too. You guys are listening. You guys are my bros.
Can I keep you?
No, not this time.
Okay.
Alright, okay. We're gonna run down a review of the Kombat Kast that happened today, March the 27th, called Black Friday. This one, obviously, features three really cool characters. I'm really happy that we got to see these. I was very surprised we got to see these. They were Erron Black, Liu Kang, and Shinnok. Yes. And they all look really good. But,
yes.
You know, at the beginning of the Kombat Kast, they had some other stuff to show off, and it actually, you know what, this time, I liked it. I like the additionals they had to show off. What did you think?
Well, I mean, are we talking about, like, the fatalities that they showed, or are we just talking about, like, the sound design part of it?
Well, at very first, they showed the Raiden skin for WB Play.
Right, true. They showed the future Raiden, a.k.a. Tron Raiden, which definitely... Yeah, it's clearly Tron Raiden.
Very much.
I liked it. I mean, it is what it is. It's not like amazing or anything. It's not like getting me super pumped or hyped, but it's cool. I mean, I dig the reference. I mean, it's another '80s reference, so sure.
And I mean, you're not paying for it, so.
Right. Yeah.
Just throw that on the top there. That's fine. That'll be fine. I'll take that. So that was nice. And then after that, they did go into the sound design thing with Mr. Dan Forden, my boy, and Rich Carl. Don't want to leave him out.
Yeah, the guy that's known for Frosty.
He is? Who? Rich?
Dan Forden. Frosty.
Well, he does Frosty and Toasty, but Toasty's the main one.
Toasty.
Toasty.
Did he say that?
Dude, he said that on the thing today.
I'm kidding.
Don't troll me with Dan Forden, okay? It's not funny.
All right. Is he your inspiration?
No, but he's cool. He's up there. I like him. He's a good dude, especially those first couple of games.
Indeed. Yes, of course.
And Mortal Kombat 4 was good too.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dan Forden was on there, which I was surprised. I did not expect to see him on a Kombat Kast. That was really pleasant, even though it was great.
Yeah, it was good.
And they ran down one thing I will point out about it. They ran down a few things, but one thing I will point out, I knew this since back at E3 because I was a nerd and really listened to those gameplay videos that came out. But they said specifically that each round has separate themes in each stage.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't know that either, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's the first time they've ever done that in Mortal Kombat. So I'm assuming that means that like we haven't really seen like a round 1, round 2. Like it's that the whole structure's been a little bit different this time. And then the third one is always final round. Like the announcer dude even says it. So I think they're really going to try to make it to where maybe that's like the cap. Maybe there is just 3 rounds. I don't know how that's going to work with, like, maybe, I guess there's not double KOs? I don't know.
Well, they did say there's double KOs. I remember them saying that for sure.
Well, that's interesting, then. We'll have to...
Yeah. Maybe
if you get a double KO, then you both just get a win. Well, I don't know how that would work on a final round type situation, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I'll have to see. But anyway, back to the sound. It is cool that each round has its own... version of the stage's theme, and naturally they kind of get more intense, the closer you get to the final round. So that's really cool. It's a really cool tidbit, and I think that was a really creative choice they went with there.
Yeah, for sure.
They also talked about they showed the squish video, as I like to call it.
But before that,
they start something else.
The fatalities? Was that
yeah. No, that was before, but I was just gonna go ahead and say the squish video since it was about the sounds. The squish video, I laughed a lot because it was
a little awkward, but yeah, I mean, it was definitely funny at the end, for sure.
It was fun. It was funny all the way through it. Hey, dude, let's throw some slime in a bucket and shove a plunger in it. Like,
yeah,
that's just good, clean fun right there. Come on,
Nickelodeon. Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was good.
It was. I wish that I got paid to do that every day.
Paid! You said the secret slime word.
Oh no!
Yeah, there it is. It fell all over you.
But then, yeah, they did have the fatalities, which we saw a fatality practice mode. That's cool.
Can we just... The Ermac one we've all seen. It's definitely cool.
Yeah.
One of Ermac's best fatalities ever. But that Sub-Zero one, man.
That Sub-Zero, which is called Chest Cold, apparently.
Oh, man, that was so freaking awesome. I love that fatality so much because, for one, let's take it back to when we were doing like we were making up X-rays. I kept like coming back to him riding the opponent like a skateboard, like he did in Deadly Alliance, and also I had included ice spikes because I feel like that's underutilized for his fatalities over the years. He's always had the similar. It's always been like a knockoff of the head rip. You had the head rip, or you have them like breaking them in half, or tearing out their entire skeleton, or pulling out their spine through their chest, and then you shattering them with said spine and skull. And then now we have him freezing the torso part and then breaking through and breaking the spine. It's always been like skeletal related, except for like maybe breaking in half. So it's nice to see him finally create a bed of spikes, knock his opponent onto him, and then just stand and jump on him. That's awesome.
It was very nice. I enjoyed it. It was classy, and it was it was brutal. It was creative.
Yeah,
it was creative. Like it was a nice change of pace for Sub-Zero, like you said.
That's exactly it. It's different, which is always good. You don't ever want to see the same things just constantly. Not that I hate Sub-Zero's fatalities. It's just I love the spine rip. It's still my favorite, amongst my favorites of the entire series. I love the MK4 version and of course the classic version. But that bed of spikes was awesome. That's something I've been wanting for a long time. So I was definitely happy about it.
I was too. And like I said, apparently it's called Chest Cold. That's an okay name. I like the surfboard better, but whatever.
Yeah.
And the other one, Ermac's fatality, is apparently called Inner Workings.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And in that little video we saw, Kano's MK9 skin.
Indeed we did, yes. It's another returning MK9 skin, and I'm interested to see who all gets a returning MK9 skin.
Like, Raiden probably won't get one, because that would be kind of redundant, I would think. Like, his primary is kind of just like a better version of his MK9 skin.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to probably story mode. Who's going to actually flash back to end of MK9 type stuff.
Right. And we've already seen Scorpions, and now we've seen Kano, so there will probably be a few.
Yeah, for sure.
What else happened? We talked about the Squish video, and then they went straight into Erron Black.
Yeah.
My boy.
They showed us a cool trailer.
They did. His, let's see, where to start with Erron Black?
Well, let's run through each variation real quick.
Okay, let's do that.
They started off with Marksman, and that he's using a rifle, basically. He's got all of his normals. We should probably cover those too. What was your general, feeling of all of his specials, just his normal specials? All the, using the pistols and everything, and the sand bombs.
I like the sand bombs. I wouldn't have thought of that, but they seem like a cool idea.
Right.
And, obviously he's kind of like a gadget utility character. And he also had I think that was I think this one might have been variation specific. He had the caltrops too. Was that variation specific?
I don't think that is, because I think the only variation specific about Marksman was the rifle.
Okay.
And yeah, and the definition in the game is gains unique special attacks utilizing a rifle. So I'm pretty sure the caltrops and all the variations of the sand bombs were in this one. So yeah.
I still really like Erron Black, but
are you disappointed a little bit by how he plays?
I think what it is with my disappointment is he seems like a very tricky character. He seems very strategic and whatnot, and you're gonna have to play him like a lot of people was like, oh, he's gonna be like MKX's Deathstroke, and that does not seem to be the case at all.
Here's what I said in our reaction video. I said he's a combination of Batman and Deathstroke. The guns of Deathstroke, like the gunshots of Deathstroke, mixed with Batman's tricks.
Yes, and especially since he has that slide.
Yeah, exactly.
I like him, but I think there's something, I don't know, there's something about maybe his animations or something that just doesn't sell his moves as being as impressive as I wish they did. I can't really put my finger on it though, but he still looks really cool, and I'm sure that I'll definitely get okay with him at least. I'm still gonna play him.
Main? Is he your main, or do you feel like
oh, dude, I don't know.
He doesn't live up to that now.
I can't honestly pick a main right now. I can pick like I've said before.
Are you more excited for him or Takeda at this point?
Right now I'm more excited for Takeda, I gotta say, but not by a lot. Like
Okay.
I'm still
yeah.
I'm still very very excited about checking out Erron Black. I think it's going to be really cool. So yeah, we just talked about his marksman.
Well, yeah,
variation.
we got to include the rifle, of course, and
Well,
the rifle
right.
looks really fun. I love the just using the cock action or whatever the heck it's called, where he's just the lever action, I believe is what it is, where he's just backing up, continually shooting. I love that, and reloading, of course. I like where he kneels down, as they said, hold that. You can just hold it down and hold the gun there in kind of like a sniper position and a crouched position, and just hold that for a second to kind of play up and trick the opponent, bait him in for a little bit.
Yeah, it like works like a cancel, which is really fun. You can do some
Right,
fun
and then-
steps with that.
Yeah, and then he has the enhanced version, which starts low, then goes medium, then goes high. That sets up a combo. There was a lot of fun tricks with the rifle. I thought it was really neat for sure.
Yeah, I'm still really digging this dude. I want to play him. I got the video pulled up now, so I'm looking at him, and yeah,
Right.
I'm still really pumped about seeing him. What else? So yeah, that's basically the marksman. And then which one do they do next?
Outlaw
Outlaw?
with the Tarkatan blade.
Okay. Did you say Tarkatan?
I did. Tarkatan.
Oh, you can say it however you want, but
Tarkatan.
you should say Tarkatan.
Tarkatan. How about that?
That's the correct way. This one, yeah, like this was in one of those leaks, so that leak was totally on point.
Yeah, James MK once again. All the people that doubted him. I'm not like I even said in this. Razor and I talked about it in the reaction video for a split second too. But a lot of people were doubting James MK, even some hating on him, claiming he just wanted attention. I think maybe that was part of it, but he's definitely he's spot on with the roster.
Yeah.
And he's spot on with the Tarkatan blade. Who
Right.
saw that coming? So he definitely knew what he was talking, and he was right about a lot of the character inclusions and non-inclusions and story mode type stuff. That the base stuff he didn't spoil much, but just he has insider knowledge with some other testers because he knows them. So I don't know why anybody doubted it in the first place, other than, yes, maybe he was a little bit attention whorey, so to speak, with his methods of doing it. I mean, that's the best way to describe it, but ultimately he was right. And whether there's a secret 26 character that he didn't know about, we have yet to see whether that question mark random select is going to remain. I would hope not. I would hope there is a 26
I don't
character.
think it will be, just because it's been so long. I can't even remember the last time there was an actual random select question mark button on the select screen. Like,
Right.
I don't even remember when that's happened last in Mortal Kombat, so I'm not expecting that to stay around.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
We will see.
If there is, then they definitely did a good job of keeping that secret. So
Yes. Another quick thing I want to say here is we actually have a really good second player palette. Like, that's not always the case with Mortal Kombat games.
Yeah,
And
the colors can be a pain.
And here it's very noticeable. He's green in his other player 2 palette with this costume.
Which looks good, yeah.
It does. It's very good. So thank you, NetherRealm, because I'm tired of getting confused. Scorpion still, it looks like a pain to tell apart, but whatever,
Yeah, I don't know why they're so... How hard could it be to just, like, make part of his gi black and then give him, like, yellow highlights?
Right.
Why would You'd
you
still
can
be
even
able
reverse
to tell.
it. You could just reverse everything with yellow pants and a black, vest or whatever. Like, yeah, just do that and that's fine. But just whatever. Okay, so which variation were we on there?
We're talking about Outlaw, and he's got the Tarkatan arm blade.
Yeah, which that
and-
looks like a lot of fun.
It does. I like the idea of him stabbing them, breaking it off, and then causing damage over time. I was a little confused at first because I thought that was going to remain in them for the rest of the battle type of thing, like in Deadly Alliance.
Yeah.
But it does go away after a few seconds, so that's probably for the best, so nobody abuses it.
Right. I just like the way it looks. Like, that weapon looks really cool. And this is just another example. There's a lot of strategy in this game. Like, they're really piling on the kind of minutia of complex gameplay that, especially coming off of Mortal Kombat 9, was not present, like, at all. Mortal Kombat 9 was really, let's just be real here, it was a very basic fighter. Like, everyone kind of had the same, like, jump-in attacks and, sweeps and uppercuts, and there's just a ton of universal moves and attacks, which works because that game was like a restart of the franchise and kind of remaking those first 3 games, which were all about those basic moves in HD. So I get it, and that's not a knock against MK9, but this is a big departure. This
Yeah,
game has
I
a
mean-
lot of little things, like we'll talk about in a minute with like Liu Kang's variations, where there's just some tricky shit going on, which is fun. But it's gonna make the game more complicated and maybe not as easy to make that jump from casual to somewhat competitive.
There'll be characters that are easier than others to manage to be that like open like that gateway
Well, yeah,
into
sure.
the competitive. But in terms of like character differentiation or variety, I should say,
Yes.
I think I've said this for a long time, but I think Injustice helped them do that.
Oh, definitely,
And
definitely.
Injustice, they definitely introduced the idea that not every character needs to do front flips and back flips every time you jump into the air. Not every character needs to walk the same. Not every character needs to be the same size. Not every character needs to do this or that the same.
Even
not
the
every
same
character
jump
needs to be the
arcs.
same speed. Yeah, or the same. It's just in general that's
Right.
Injustice helped a lot for them to experiment. So, yes, we're seeing that even progressed more with MKX. So it's always good. It's a good thing that they had Injustice because we're getting a better MKX because of it.
It is, but I'm anticipating, the inevitable backlashes like this game's too much like Injustice, or like Injustice. Like I wish they'd never made Injustice because now it's ruined Mortal Kombat. Like no, that's not the case. Other fighting games that are good maybe ruined Mortal Kombat if you want to use that terminology, but like there's just other this is how fighting games work nowadays, and
Everybody has an opinion, so some people are going to.
yes, absolutely, but it's not because they made Injustice that this is the case. Like, you try to jump into something like Killer Instinct, and you think this is a problem, you're just gonna die. Your brain's gonna shut down, and you're gonna just die.
I don't know how to do Killer. I don't know how to play Killer Instinct because it's a very complex game. So
Right, it's so complicated, it's crazy.
MK has not lost that, and I think the variation system helps because you're going to get some tricky variations, but not every variation is going to be as tricky as the next. And you're going to have some trickier characters, but for every tricky character, you're going to have a character like Reptile that his variation, he seems like a very standard type MK character. All of his specials are usable in every variation. There's not like a whole lot of trick right there. It's just, and he has simpler things to use, like slowing down time, so to speak,
Right.
or speeding him up, however you want to look at it,
Right,
or
yeah.
like just damage from being close to him, stuff like that.
And you just have all these things in MKX that's never been in Mortal Kombat, like damage over time effects and buffs. And,
Well,
and so,
damage over time's been there.
Well, has it? I mean, well, I guess
Deadly Alliance.
Yeah, you stab your dude, and that kind of like
Yeah.
that. But still, that was like a universal mechanic.
Right.
So
right.
everyone had that one thing, which is now it's
Yeah.
like if you're jumping online, it's like okay, which character has what again, and which variation of which character has what shenanigans. Like it's just going to be a lot more to keep in mind, which I'm psyched for it. It's going to make Mortal Kombat
it's
a
necessary.
better
It's a necessary
game
evolution.
for it. Yes.
Yes.
I'm just not
So,
looking
yeah.
forward to seeing the
Who cares? I mean, like I said, everybody has their opinions. For every one person that's like, oh, I don't like this anymore, there's going to be 5 other people that are like, oh, wow, I actually really like this. I might give this a chance now. So I don't. At the end of the day, it's going to be better for it, and I don't think that's arguable.
No, that's not up for debate at all. MKX is definitely more awesome for being the way it is, for making the changes that it has.
But yeah, Erron Black.
Erron Black.
Gunslinger would be the third variation.
What was the visual cue for Gunslinger?
Gunslinger, the visual cue, I'm trying to remember. I noticed it.
Outlaw has no hat.
Well, Outlaw has the Targeting Blade.
Well, yes, the targeting
Tarkatan
You're messing me up now.
I know. I don't know why I'm doing.
It has the
this, but-
Tarkatan blade, and he has no hat in that variation.
Right.
Now, wait, he also has this dust throw move that I forgot about, where he like picks up dirt and throws it at your face. I don't know if that.
I think Gunslinger is the one with the hat. Because Marksman didn't have a hat, I'm pretty sure.
No, Outlaw does not have the hat.
Okay.
I'm looking at it
but
right now.
Did Marksman have a hat?
Wait.
I don't think Marksman has a hat. I think the hat's only on Gunslinger.
Okay, hat's only on Gunslinger. You could be right.
That's the visual cue.
Okay,
because
that's cool.
Outlaw is the Tarkatan blade. Marksman is the obviously rifle on his back. Gunslinger's nothing on his back with a hat. So anyways.
That dirt throw move is gonna be dirty. No pun.
It's awesome.
No pun intended. But that's gonna create shenanigans. That's gonna be fun.
Oh, and we're gonna get to my favorite special of his. It's in Gunslinger.
What are they?
Take a guess. What do you think my favorite special is that's in Gunslinger? Because I think it should be obvious.
I don't remember. Tell me.
It's an awesome one. Okay, it's the coin trick one. I love that.
what is that? What happens in that?
What? He flips the coin in the air and shoots the bullet, and it ricochets off the coin.
Oh, I missed this one. That's why I don't remember it.
Geez.
So no, I'm looking at it right now. But go ahead
Right.
and tell him what it is.
Okay, so he tosses a coin in the air, and then he shoots the gun up in the air, and you can do different inputs to make it have a different arc, basically. So you toss the coin in the air, it makes an awesome coin noise, like you would expect from like Two-Face when he's flipping his coin.
Right.
And maybe that's why I like it, is because I love like coin flippers, like that typical Wild West type stuff. Anyways, he flips the coin in the air, shoots the gun real quick, and the bullet ricochets off the bullet and goes towards your opponent. And the enhanced version is he throws multiple coins up in the air, takes multiple shots, and they all go towards the opponent. It just looks really cool.
It does look really cool. That is one thing. See, man, I totally missed that whole deal because of reasons earlier.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's awesome. And Gunslinger, now that I'm looking at it, it looks like it might be the funnest variation for him.
It's the most stereotypical Wild West, where, I mean, it's good in that sense that he takes the formation of, like, you know, ready to draw, and then he does the little, like, making them dance, so then he shoots at the ground at their feet,
right.
and they do
yeah,
like that
he has the
dance
what they
almost.
call it, like a stance he goes into.
Right, exactly. It's the gunslinger stance,
Yeah.
or the, like, when you're drawing or whatever you want to call that, doing a showdown, show off, or whatever the hell.
He's got a lot of
Standoff.
tricky shit. So
Standoff stance. I don't know why that took me so long to think.
Right,
It's
like-
literally right in front of me.
a couple of months, like 6 months down the road and more, I feel like once people really get this character under their fingers, this dude's gonna be nuts online.
He's gonna be so much fun. Like I said, with the pistol shooting, it's very Deathstroke in that sense.
It is,
which
but
also
it's
kinda
way
like
more
Stryker.
precise and strategic than Deathstroke.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
No, I know, but like,
why are you taking that as a bad thing?
No,
Deathstroke
I know,
was
I
an
know.
awesome character.
No,
in Injustice.
I'm just differentiating. Like, a lot of people was like, uh-oh, they're playing Deathstroke, we got Call of Duty in here. And, like, you know, they would just, like, sit
No.
back and, like, jump into instant air.
Haters are gonna hate no
Things
matter
that-
what you say.
Okay,
and
no,
what the character
no,
is.
hold on. Now, listen. Deathstroke was cool, but I didn't like seeing a scrubby Deathstroke, because that would just get annoying. I can still beat it, but it's like, if you're just gonna sit back and do the gun thing all day, then, you know, whatever, that's fine. But when I see, like, a really good Deathstroke who's, like, comboing off of stuff and then going into the spam and then mixing that into, like, a full game, then
Right.
that was really cool. But you didn't see that very often online.
That goes for just about every character. There's a lot of characters that are spammable, and I mean, think Noob Zybot, for God's sakes. You could just spam projectiles all day and then
definitely.
teleport.
Yeah, every
so.
game has at least a couple of those characters. Well, NetherRealm games anyway. But yeah, I guess that about does it for Erron Black. Erron Black looks like he's going to be a lot of fun. But
Well, real quick,
okay, go
I
ahead.
mean, I also want to touch upon some of the other specials that we didn't really talk about. The slide we did briefly mention, but I really like the slide. Obviously, it's Batman's slide from Injustice, and maybe that's why I like it. But I've always been a big fan of slides in general. I love Sub Slide, Reptile Slide, etc., and Frost Slide. I just think it's really fun. I love the enhanced version where he slides under him, then shoots the
yeah,
pistols up in the air.
that looks really good. He's also got like a
I
flying
love-
2-foot drop kick. Yeah,
Right
there.
And that was another one. Towards the end, you see a running drop kick. I don't know if that's a gunslinger specific
I don't know.
thing or if it's overall of his, but he runs up and then just drop kicks him, like missile drop kick straight on. And then I would hope there's an enhanced version of that. Where if it's a special, I don't know if it's a special, but if it is, I would love for there to be an enhanced version where he drop kicks him and then shoots him as he's dropping down. 'Cause that just makes sense.
Oh man, this
Or if
character's
he
gonna be a
drops-
lot of fun, man. I'm
Right,
excited
or
about
if he
all this
drops
stuff.
down onto his back from that drop kick and then shoots him while he's on the ground. Like,
Right.
one of those two is very, like, you've seen that in shoot 'em up movies, and I would love to see that, or jumping back while shooting, like Max Payne style. I think that's a lot of fun, and also I wanted to also mention before we move on to the next character, I do like his sand grenades. I think that's a really fun concept of him using
It
sand.
is, yeah, that is fun.
like that.
It's some kind of weird outworld magic sand, but it's still cool.
Right. Yeah, it's neat. It's just a cool idea. They're not, I should mention, they don't, like, encroach upon Cyrax's bombs at all.
No,
which I was like, when I
yeah.
first saw that, I'm like, oh god, not another bomb user where it's gonna make Cyrax even more, like, obsolete.
Right.
But no, they're not. They don't play out like Cyrax's bombs at all. I love that he rolls the bomb across the ground, so
Yeah.
you can kind of set that up where you roll it and then you just start doing what you got to do, maybe apply some pressure. So that's
Exactly,
really cool.
yeah.
I love the special where he, like, turns backwards and then shoots the gun by kicking the hammer of the gun. That's just style points written all over that one. what other ones? There's
Well,
a couple. With
I'm a tard. We didn't even talk about his X-ray and fatality.
Yeah, we'll get to that. That's what I was going to end it all on. But a couple last specials to mention. I love the anti-air with the sand, and pulling up the dirt and sand off the ground, throwing it in his opponent's eyes. I love all of that. This character has so much personality and flair to him, and just so much style to him. He's just got a lot of flavor, and I think that's important in any new character because gameplay is obviously the most essential part, but what's going to draw people in to want to experience his gameplay is having all this flair. When they see this character played, you're going to see a lot of cool, awesome, fun combos and specials, and that's essential. He's the personality and the flavor in this character for what kind of archetype they're going for with this, Western cowboy type outlaw mercenary type person is 100% exactly what I would hope for in a character like this. So I think it looks like a lot of fun. I love his variations. So he's one of the most solid characters in the game from top to bottom, all variations, all specials, and look-wise. I think he's definitely he gets a really high grade from me just because there's a lot of characters I like in the game, but then there's like a variation or two that I dislike, or maybe something of their attire I dislike. But he, on the other hand, I just like I said, from top to bottom, he's solid. So I'm really happy with him.
I also think it's hilarious. Like, he's not a new ninja, but he's kind of a new ninja.
And that mask, I don't really read as ninja-ish. It's not just the mask,
though. Like, if you look at him, he's got the mask, he's got the V going down, he's got a little bit of the loincloth, he's got black pants. I'm like, this guy, he's not, like I said, he's not a ninja, but he's kind of a ninja, just a little bit.
I don't read it as ninja, but I mean, the only thing ninja about him is that mask that covers his nose and mouth. But I mean, it even goes up. It's more like Bane than anything. It goes up through, like, over his nose and
no, it does. But that's what I'm saying.
Like
he's a ninja, like, in spirit, but he's they made him after the palette swap day, so he's starting out with his own unique spin on a couple of those ninja tropes. Like I said, he's got the color matching V, a little bit of the loincloth, and the color matching mask and the black pants. Like, all these things are kind of the basic, ABCs of what MK Ninjas are about. Now I think he is a little bit of a ninja. Definitely his own unique thing, completely separate from all the other ones, but I was hoping with this game that they would have, like, a new take on that idea, that trope, that Mortal Kombat trope. Because it's like, Street Fighter never stopped making shotos. They make them all the time. Mortal Kombat doesn't need to stop. And I still see this guy as has a little bit of that flavor to him, in my opinion.
I kind of see what you're saying, but I don't know. I still don't see, like, ninja in him. I just see old Western cowboy, and with a mask that makes sense for a cowboy to have that's traveling across the desert lands type. I mean, you're going to want something that covers your mouth and nose like that. That's all I look at it as, and he has the duster and everything on. So, I mean, but I kind of see what you're saying, but I still don't attribute it as anything ninja-like, but yeah, I mean, that's just perception, of course, so...
you want to talk about his X-rays?
Yep, yeah, X-ray and fatality, of course. And X-ray. Let's start with. What do you think of his X-ray?
It's classy as shit. Like, it's extremely stylish. What does he do? It starts with a low, right? Like a ground bomb.
Yeah, he throws the sand bomb at their feet, like Smoke kind of throws a smoke bomb. It's very similar looking. And then it goes right into him shooting it, and then, like, shooting a bullet, which it's very fun and cute. Like, all the bullets have his enemy's name on it, right? Which
just is super awesome and personality.
My favorite part. That's my favorite part of this X-ray, honestly.
It is. No, that's definitely the best part. Like, it's like slows down.
Shout out
to
Derek.
Bullet.
Apparently, he was the one that thought of that idea. And that's a solid. I don't think I'd like the X-ray nearly as much as I do if the name wasn't on the bullet. I think that's very. That's an important touch, I think. Just the minor detail like that can make it that much cooler.
Definitely. I'm just watching it right now. And the bullet, like, just ricochets. It's one shot, but it ricochets through their body to get those
bullet.
3 hits.
It's the magic bullet from, like, JFK is what it is. I think that's the idea behind it, because if you look at it, it doesn't really... I know it's supposed to be ricocheting off their bones, and that's why it goes the route it takes, but logically that wouldn't make any sense, because it literally leaves their body, then goes back in, like, through the jaw at that point. So it's weird in that sense. Other than the name on it, I don't. It's a cool cool X-ray, but it's not one of my favorites. Without the name. With the name, it's definitely up there, but I don't know. Somebody did say that it's their favorite X-ray they've seen yet, and I can't agree with that because I think just the bullet hitting different bones isn't that exciting to me. But like I said, with the name on the bullet and the way it starts with the sand grenade and everything, overall it's definitely cool.
I like it. I like it because of the bullet, I like it because of the name, and I like it because, like I said, it's one shot, and that, like, he does one thing, and that's the whole X-ray.
Yeah, it's different.
Like,
it's definitely different, and I give it all the credit for that.
The fatality, I like this fatality. This fatality is fun. He throws the smoke. It's not a smoke bomb. You ain't me saying smoke bomb. The sand grenade. He shoots him in the chest, throws the sand grenade into the cavity, and then shoots the sand grenade. Now, in the trailer, I was confused. I was like, why are things popping out of his face? But once you see the rest of it, it's like, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
It's like, how is there that much sand?
Like, it's magical sand apparently, but
Right.
I really don't understand it. To me, it's one of the goofier fatalities that
Yeah, it's super goofy, but it's fun to look at, just because, like, at the end, they're like a sand fountain. It's just, what's going on here? They're covered with sand. I think it's funny.
Personally, I don't care much for this fatality. I don't hate it, but it's not something I typically enjoy. And it's not that I can't enjoy funny, like, goofy fatalities. I enjoyed the blood bubble that Cassie has.
No, right.
But for this one, maybe it's because we don't know the backstory on the sand yet. Obviously, it's some sort of never-ending, reproducing sand that continually makes more sand out of that little bomb. But then, why is he throwing bombs at the ground and just a little puff of sand comes out? Like, I'm confused, but at the same time, even if that is what it is, it's just continually sand that keeps coming. It's just odd. It's just odd.
It doesn't make any sense. Like I said, it doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. Like, I still look at it and I think it's fun. I want to see his other one. I really want to see his brutalities.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be a
fun.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
He has so many just fucking cool moves, like, you know, like him stabbing you with the Tarkatan blade, just everything. There's gonna be a lot of fun stuff, man. Oh, this dude. I kept meaning to tweet him. They never would have answered it on the stream, but I was like, I really want to know if his guns have names. Like, I look at this guy and I'm like, come on, this guy has to have names for his guns. That just goes with the character. But he probably doesn't.
What do you think of the voice, and what do you think of his, like, extremely dark bang? Not his bangs, but the bags under his eyes.
Yeah, like, there's something going on with this dude. Like, I just want to figure out what his deal is. His voice wasn't what I expected. I expected more of I guess more of an accent or something. But, you know, not like I don't know, like more of your, obviously, like a John Marston type thing.
See, for me, his voice is exactly what I would have thought it would be. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because it's the most stereotypical, like, Western cowboy gruff type person, and I don't know.
It is, but to me, it just feels a little dry. Like, it doesn't have a lot of personality in it. Maybe it will if we hear a little bit more of it, but, I mean, it's more than we got to hear of Shinnok's voice.
I'm glad he's not, like, a jokester, for God's sakes, because we got enough of those. We got enough of those. Like, everybody has to, like, tell jokes between Johnny, Cassie, Kung Jin, Takeda, etc. I'm glad he's not another wisecracking dude, but it's definitely stereotypical.
That'd be weird if he was. Like, look at this guy.
Right.
Like, this guy looks super serial.
But as for the eyes, I'm not sure what the heck that is. It looks like he went, like, deep sea diving and then pulled his mask off wrong and then completely just got two black eyes.
I don't know what that's about. I have to assume that that's about something. Like, maybe something happened to this dude. Maybe he wears a mask for a reason. Maybe his face is fucked up. I don't know.
Maybe he's a Tarkatan.
He's not a Tarkatan.
Yeah.
He's just not.
All right.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's Cabal.
That would not be cool.
He's not Cabal, but I don't know. Like, there's something going on with this dude. I'm looking forward to finding out what that is.
All right.
Anything else with Erron Black?
Nope. That wraps it up.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Liu Kang.
Let's.
One of your mains from MK9.
One of my mains in most games that I play, like, MK-wise. Since I played him in MK2, I played him in Ultimate MK3, MK4. Deception, I wasn't as big of a fan. Obviously, Deadly Alliance, he wasn't in. So yeah, it's mainly the 2D games that I really enjoy Liu Kang, because I think his moves are the most, like his specials are the most basic in what you would want from a character. He has 2 projectiles, a really quick flying kick to close ground, and then a really cool looking bicycle kick that's just fun. So
Right.
I've always enjoyed the character for his moveset, and not and his looks are all right, but I mean that he's a little bit plain, stereotypical, like he's a Bruce Lee knockoff, type of thing. Like
He is, but he's less so than ever in this game.
right. They're definitely, to a degree, but yeah, they're definitely separating him from that, or at least giving him his own identity even more so. Starting off, just based on looks, I really do like this outfit for him. My biggest complaint with his MK9 alternate, because I like his primary a lot, his alternate, I did not like the one sash, and I didn't like how like form-fitted it was around his body. It just looked really weird. It did not jive well with me, but this one looks really cool. I like both sides with the half sleeves and then the arm guards, and the pants and everything just look really good. I really like this Liu Kang.
He has the single slash young version in the in the young Liu Kang skin.
So I probably won't use that one.
I really like this design though. I like how long his hair is. I like the kind of grayness to it, I just like the design. Like, there's a lot of personality going on with this. He's got like the dragon stuff on his gi, like all this fun stuff.
Indeed.
And in the what was it, like his first variation is Dragon's Fire? Does he have a tat on his face?
Yeah, he has a tattoo of some sort of dragon-like tattoo over his face, which is cool. I like it.
Yeah, that's hardcore, man.
Yeah, but let's get into this. He gains, I guess. Well, let's start off with his universal specials, which are high fireball, low fireball, flying kick, and a parry, maybe, perhaps. I'm not sure.
Yes, there is a parry.
That's universal?
Oh, I don't know if it's universal.
Yeah, that's the tough part. I'm not sure if it was universal or if it's flame fist. But anyways, dragon fire, he gains dragon parry. Okay, well, I guess it says right here. Derp. He gains dragon parry, windmill punch, and Shaolin flame. Though I thought they showed the parry and flame fist, so maybe there's a little confusion on our part or on the Combat Tethers page. They list everything out, but I think they list everything that you see on the actual variation screen when you pick the characters. So I doubt they got.
It's
that
also
wrong.
like whenever they hit pause to reset, like, you can see all their moves.
Right. So, anyways, it says Dragonfire gets the parry, Windmill Punch, and Shaolin Flame. Did they start off with Dragonfire? Because I don't remember the Windmill Punch being that.
No, they started with Dragon's Fire.
What? Then why'd you just say no?
Because I was wrong.
Did they maybe get the names wrong on here?
Maybe they did.
The Combat Tether, I think they may have gotten... Yeah, they got Flame Fist and Dragonfire mixed up. That's what's happening.
Here, I'm about to get to the bottom of this right now.
I just did. That's what happened. I'm reading right now. Flame Fist, they put gains in empowered dragon fireballs and flying kick. That's Dragonfire. Anyways, okay, so problem solved. They just mixed up their names. The Combat Tether did.
Yeah. What is it? Dragon's Fire has...
Yes, Dragonfire gets dragon fireballs and flying kick.
Double Dragon Kick, Dragon Fire, Dragon's Roar, and Bicycle Kick. Okay, I'm reading through. Okay,
Yes,
we're good.
Okay. We're okay. It's just a mix-up on names. But anyways, Dragonfire, I really did like. I love how the dragon heads are on the end of the fireballs, the normals.
Yeah.
I love the enhanced fireballs that he sends out multiple, and you can enhance the enhance with the standing fireball, which I think is absolutely awesome that a character can do that now. You have to waste 2 meters, not really waste, but you have to burn 2 meters to do it. But that's awesome that you can further enhance an enhanced special. And I just like, my biggest problem, and I was just thinking about this the other day, recently, is with Liu Kang, when I enhance a fireball, if you dodge that one fireball, then that's just it. So it's like, it sucks, because it's still just as easily avoidable. So the extra damage I'm packing onto there, taking a chance, is wasted if you just can simply dodge it as if you would have normally. But now he throws out several of them, and especially if you enhance it even more, it's hit confirm, you really just throw out like a crazy ton. So that's really cool. I love the way they look. I love the way the fireballs look. I love his combos. He even has the 1-2 hit and then pop-up, like with his kick, pop-up kick.
Yeah.
Combo from MK9. It's not the exact same, but it's the same concept, and it'll probably be the same easily executed one. So I'm excited for that, because I love his combos in MK9, and He just looks so fast and freaking fun in this game.
He does. He looks really good.
It's exactly what I want from Liu Kang. I want the fastest character in the game. He even has the fastest normal punch, which is often awesome. They said it was something like 5 frames, which is the fastest in the game, and that's freaking cool to me. I like the flying kick, the double hit kick. So if somebody blocks the first one thinking they got away with it, you can strike them a second time really quickly, which is part of the move, and that's really cool. It's kind of like when you do a diving kick and then do the actual, like a jump-in kick, I should say, and then do a dive kick after it with like Kung Lao in MK9. It's just cool to have that second hit take place. Beyond that, I think that was covering most of what Dragonfire brings to the table, and yeah, it's really, really cool.
It is. I'm glad they made this guy look as good as he does, because I really wasn't that excited about him. So, like, he's in the game and he looks great. His moves look great. He's animates well. He's got personality. So yeah, it's great to see him back. The next one is Flame Fist. And in this one, he has an additional fireball. It looks like. And he's also got Windmill Punch, Shaolin Flame, and Dragon Parry.
Indeed, yeah. It looks... The Flame Fist I was enjoying quite a bit. It's just... there was nothing for me to dislike in these. I thought the Flame Fist was fun. I like the idea of being able to power up and do a bunch of chip damage.
Yeah, it's like Katana's thing.
Right,
where she sharpens her fans.
The parry was really cool, going into the Bruce Lee, like, stomp kick from Enter the Dragon, I believe, and... The Windmill Punch was really fun. It replaces the Bicycle Kick, which I actually should have commented on that before. The Bicycle Kick looks really cool. It's not like MK9, which I do like MK9's better, where he's actually doing the... Like, he's in a more of an standing up motion, so he's like... It makes more logical sense, even though it's illogical either way you put it.
Right.
But yes, this one is more like the classic version of the Bicycle Kick. He's full on, like, in seated position doing several kicks, and it just looks really good and fluid, and it just looks really good. But yes, that's replaced by the Windmill Punch, which I actually said when we were covering Takeda, I love flurry punches and, like, his flurry windmill of his whips. But yes, his Windmill Punch is really fun, really cool.
It is really fun. It looks really good.
Yes, and then the Shaolin Flame, which, like I said, gives him the added chip damage and all that. Overall, that's a really cool variation. I still think I prefer Dragonfire, but Flame Fist definitely looked fun.
What is the last one? Is the last one
Duelist?
Duelist.
This one is really weird. This one is really, really weird.
It is weird, but it's interesting.
It's interesting, weird.
It's creative.
Sure.
It's tricky.
It's different.
This one is going to give people problems.
This is the one that I probably won't use because it is so tricky and much more complex of one to use, especially when you're using the dark side version of it.
Right.
And you're throwing out traps that you have to throw out, initiate, and then the opponent has to hit them after you've initiated it. That's really weird and interesting. And then the light version you can heal damage. You can just heal your own damage by standing there and holding the button. So you open yourself up for an attack, but if you can keep your opponent at a distance and start doing those, or start healing up, that's really cool.
It is really cool.
And his light fireballs look like they go a little bit slower than the normal fireballs. They said faster, but it looks slower to me than the normal fireball. But regardless... But yes, this is the least likely variation for me to use, but it's still cool that he has something that's very different, and I'm interested to see story-wise why he has these abilities now. Clearly,
I feel like it kind of makes sense. Like, even especially if you look at the little icon that's next to it, is the yin yang. Like, it goes into the whole balance thing of, like, like, I don't know, like to me it makes sense with the whole Asian martial arts thing.
Right. For concept-wise, I love it. I just want to know why he has those abilities now. It's just interesting.
This version, man, like, once really, like, technical people, like I said, like, man, 6 months down the road, once people really figure this game out, there's going to be a lot of characters that are really tricky, like Erron Black, and, like, this specific variation of Liu Kang online, people's going to have crazy setups with this stuff. NetherRealm's going to have to keep an eye on this game. Because there's going to be some stuff.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some abuse tactics and variations that are more broken than others, so hopefully they'll follow up on that. But let's get on to his X-ray. I
I'm looking at
love
that
his
right now.
X-ray. His X-ray is so freaking cool. I
It's
feel
like
like
a million hits.
it's got to be my top 3 because it's beautiful. It's so well done. I love all the hits and just kicking your opponent's ass and you're attacking just about every part of their body, and it just looks really, really cool.
He had a really good one in Mortal Kombat 9 too, but
Yeah.
like they didn't remake that one at all, and they went a completely new thing. And it is really good. Like he just hits you a zillion times, and it's all really good.
Yeah, that was my problem with Sub-Zero's from in this one.
Yeah, it was really a recycle.
It was too similar to his MK9 one. He reaches in, crushes the thing, and then instead of headbutting, he pulls out the blood at the same time and freezes it and stabs him in the eye. It was a little bit too similar, whereas Liu Kang's is nothing like his MK9 one, and that's really cool. It's good to have, some different things to use.
It is. What else did we cover? His
Fatality.
okay.
They didn't show. That was in the Shaolin trailer, which I really loved. His fatality. It's so awesome to see. Especially doing it on Raiden was the best thing ever, because it's essentially, like someone said, it's literally eating your words, which I think is what they're taking it from. Is Liu Kang was told so many things that Raiden just couldn't follow through on, and was given this false hope, so to speak, and now he's just tearing out your throat.
What is it called? Sore throat. That's what that one's called.
Yeah. It's definitely an awesome one for Liu Kang, because it's not like anything he's ever had, once again.
It's not, and I feel like that's kind of it seems like that might be a little bit of his whole personality in this game.
Yeah, he's different. It's the most different Liu Kang we've ever seen.
He seems more pissed off and gruff in this game.
Which is awesome. Because
It makes sense. I mean, you fucking get killed by your god that you worship and follow. That's gonna make you a little bitter.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to see what Liu Kang does in this game, and I'm definitely gonna play him just because he's him and Sub-Zero are always my go-to characters that I can always feel comfortable with. They're my comfort food of Mortal Kombat, so I always play both of them. As whether I'll actually main him, I don't know. It just depends. It's probably down between him and Kenshi at this point, but there's a lot of characters in this game that I want to play, and of course Goro and Jason. I gotta play Jason because I gotta represent, because he'll likely never be back for another Mortal Kombat game, so it's now or never for Jason for me. Goro, I'm still excited to play because I'm a big Goro fan. So to be able to play him on an initial roster for once in a 2D fighting game would be incredibly fun. But yeah, between Liu Kang and Kenshi right now, I feel like are the ones that are exciting me the most to play as. Then you have your Kung Jins and Kotal Khans, Kung Laos, and so many characters that look like so much fun to play in this game. But Liu Kang does not disappoint. I'm really excited for Liu Kang.
Shinnok looks pretty good.
He looks alright. He looks alright.
He looks pretty good, man.
No, but for reals, are you impressed by Shinnok, or is he pretty much just what you expected, or are you disappointed? Because I've seen
looks
a little bit
gameplay or overall.
Overall, because I've seen across the board, I've seen people disappointed. I've seen that's what I expected, and some that are actually legitimately excited by what they saw.
I am. I'm impressed by his design, looks wise.
Okay.
I think that he looks really good in both of the skins that we've seen for him.
Right.
And I really want to see that samurai skin. Jeebus.
Yeah.
As far as his gameplay goes, it is pretty much kind of what I expected. Except for maybe the second variation of his we saw.
The Bone Shaper.
The Bone Shaper, yeah. I really like staff tier characters. I like characters with staffs, and that's kind of what that one's about. Sorta, not really, but kinda. But no, I really liked his. I liked him though. I'm glad that he's here. I'm glad his gameplay looks good. But no, I wasn't blown away by it. But yeah, I'm just happy that he's here and he doesn't look like he sucks.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I wasn't blown away by him. There was nothing they showed that I'm like, oh my, this is freaking amazing. I have to play Shinnok because that just looks so damn cool. But it was more like, yes, this is what he should have been all along. I'm glad they're finally representing him the way he should. And he looks like fun. For Shinnok fans, they're definitely going to get what they've been waiting so long for.
His basics looks like it's the charging shoulder that we saw.
Charging shoulder, yeah, the amulet blast.
And the amulet strike, and then the hell sparks, like the three kind of Shang Tsung fireballs from the ground. Which, I mean, again, like, that's kind of, except for maybe the charging shoulder, that's what you expect.
Right.
I don't know, I have no idea what his moveset was in Armageddon, so I don't know if any of those are ones he had back then, but yeah, like, it's kind of what you expect with Shinnok.
Hands. They were bone hands based, so that's kind of what his Necromancer is most like. It is,
right. But yeah, all that stuff looks good, and it looks tricky too. Like if you want to get in there, just like with Shang Tsung players, like really good Shang Tsung players in Mortal Kombat 9, they can lock you down with all those fireballs from like the ground and the sky and all that stuff like that. So I think there's going to be a lot of that with Shinnok too, especially with in the Imposter one, especially because like they showed, you can like do combos and setups where you steal their abilities.
Get one special
out of the Hell Sparks, and then you're just you're it's good.
It's an interesting way to do it because in MK4 he could basically play as any character but just their moveset. So he wasn't Shang Tsung in that he took their appearance, but he still had the same concept. So in here, they're essentially giving him the special move mimicry, as they call it, but it's only one move at a time, and you can only use that move once until you have to steal it again. I love that concept for him.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a great way of making the MK4 version of Shinnok viable.
More interesting. Yeah, it's just more interesting because being able to completely take their moveset, well, we already have that with Shang Tsung, so this at least sets him apart in that mindset. And it also, I love the idea of him only using it once before he has to take it back. That adds a nice dynamic to the gameplay, that you have to keep taking that special back. And the visual indicator is his little jewel turns yellow, showing that he has their special, like, stored, so to speak. And yeah, it just looks like a lot of fun.
And, intermittently throughout their showing off of Shinnok, they talked about the practice mode. The practice mode does look really good. It looks a lot like the Injustice practice mode, but just better. Like, they took everything they did with Injustice, and they added more stuff on top of it.
It's head and shoulders above Injustice, like Injustice was above MK9 in terms of practice.
Right. Like being able to load up any of the stages, interactables, like, that is fantastic. That's going to be really helpful.
Right.
And then being able to load up, like, which side of the screen you're on, and all that stuff, it's gonna be really good.
Yeah. I just hope it's online. I hope you can practice online with a friend.
They said that you could. I'm pretty sure they confirmed that.
Okay.
Towards the end there when they were answering questions. What else? What was his next one?
Bone Shaper.
Bone Shaper.
That's where he has
this one.
Yeah, he has like the bone scythe, as I called it. They called it a sickle.
Yeah, he had that. Well, he had a couple of different ones. It was mostly that one, and then he had the ground pound move, which used kind of a different one. But it's still kind of the same deal.
Indeed.
It looked. I like it. I just wish there was more of that in maybe his basic moveset.
Yeah.
To kind of give off more of that whole godlike quality of Shinnok, because that's what he is.
I feel like that's the most disappointing thing about Shinnok's gameplay is his basic specials, like his movesets, his normals, are lacking that like flavor with all the bones and everything that people expected. If I could nitpick something, that's the one thing about Shinnok's gameplay I wasn't blown away. And maybe that's just where there could be more to see in terms of just seeing all the different combos and stuff he has, but a lot of characters use their specials throughout their combos, and I didn't see that a whole lot with Shinnok. He seemed a bit more... I'm struggling to find an accurate word, and I don't want to say something that's not accurate in that regard, but I don't know, something just felt a little missing when it comes to his actual normals and universal specials. Missing
in terms of like who the character is and his lore and whatnot, but he's a fast character. And I think that he's going to be very effective. Like, none of this, for me anyway, is to say that he's going to be a not good character, a not high-ish tier character even. Like, I think this character has a lot of potential to be good, but maybe you want a little bit more from Shinnok specifically. Something with a little more flair, I guess.
Right. But, that's all I was saying, is the flair and personality in his actual moves just isn't there for me personally.
I still think he's going to be very effective, and I was also happy to see that he's not really just like a hardcore zoner.
Right.
Like he has a lot of pressure-y type things and fast moves. That's going to be really effective.
Yeah.
Then they showed off his X-Ray in the Bone Shaper variation.
Right.
Which looks really good. He just fucking bitch slapping you.
Yeah, he just walks up, bitch slaps you, and then the skeleton hand just essentially crushes you in a couple different ways. Then he stabs you with his spear from MK4, but all bone version of it, which is nice.
It's fun. It's a good X-ray, and they have a big skeleton hand incorporated in it, so I'm happy with it. It's cool.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this this skin that we're seeing here?
His main skin, the top part looks very Shang Tsung, actually, is what I thought of.
It does.
The black and the yellow V,
Right.
is what I get from that. Even the arm guards and everything. It screams very Shang Tsung in that aspect, but ultimately, overall, I really like it. His hat not being the Pope hat, but being more demon shaped.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that because I like the Pope hat a lot for him.
Well, he's still got that in the other one, right?
Right. So I think I
Maybe
like
it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool attire. I just don't know if I like it more than his other one, personally.
Shinnok is tough for me because I never cared for his initial color scheme.
Right.
Like the weird turquoise and the red. Like for me, there's a lot of that kind of navy, whatever color you want to call it. That color in Mortal Kombat 4, especially. Like Fujin had it in his pants and shit. I'm like, why does everybody have this color all of a sudden?
Yeah.
But that I haven't really seen that with Shinnok here.
Right.
Which I'm happy. But he's kept some of his red, but he's got more purple. It looks like he might have swapped that weird navy turquoisey color with purple. That teal, maybe, whatever you want to call it. I like his color scheme, is what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, it's good.
I
like the way
it
he looks overall. I love that he's a thinner character, which I've said before.
Oh,
just
right,
seeing
yeah.
him go up against Sub-Zero bulk-wise, arm-wise, he's just got very skinny, toned arms, which is really cool. It's much more fitting to his character that he's not this big, bulky guy. Same with Quan Chi and all of that, Ermac. So it makes sense, and I'm glad that that's the case here.
He looks really thin in his next variation.
Indeed.
In the Necromancer variation, he has no hands or arms from the forearms down, except for
just skeleton arms.
Just
and hands,
skeletons. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I think that's awesome. That's like a visual indicator that I can actually get behind. I could see why it might rub some people the wrong way. Like, look at I want to play this variation, but I want him to look like he normally does. I could totally see some people feeling that way. But I think that's a visual indicator that I think is really awesome. Plus, it speaks to his personality. It's not a random glowing effect on some random object for the sake of a visual indicator. It's something that would actually make sense for Shinnok to have. He's all about necromancy, so why not give him skeleton forearms?
He's literally the god of the Netherrealm, basically.
Yeah, and that's freaking cool. I like that actually a lot.
And his moves in this are really fun. Like he's got that really slow, unblockable sky crush thing.
Right.
With the skeleton hand, which, it's really slow, but it's unblockable, and that's going to be fun, not for just raw, don't use it raw, but use it during setups and stuff.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Sinestro in Injustice.
Yeah.
How he would have that rock or whatever thing that would fly down at you, and swear to God, like, it shouldn't be that hard to deal with, but I ran several matches with Pig of the Hut, and that dude, if you don't know Pig of the Hut, he's a tournament player.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Well, I wasn't just talking to you for our lovely listeners out there.
Okay.
God. But no, dude would shut me down with Sinestro, and he would use that just to keep me full screen, do a setup, then hit me with the overhead unblockable thing, and just bleh. But I think that's going to be kind of what happens here with this variation with that move. It's going to be fun.
I mean, I attribute it to, my analogy would be, it's similar to like Goro and Kintaro or Shiva or Quan Chi doing their less Quan Chi because you can actually block his, but all the Shokans do that and you can't block those. But the visual indicator and the time it takes is enough for you to jump out of the way.
Right.
So yes, you have plenty of time to react, but it can still be effective just because in the heat of the moment, sometimes you're not thinking of that.
He also has one of my favorite moves in the entire game, actually, the flick.
The flick is fun, yes.
Just the giant ass skeleton hand that comes out of nowhere and just flicks you.
See,
to make you salty.
I like the hand that comes out of the ground and grabs onto you and squeezes you more.
I mean, listen, all these moves are cool, but yeah, that one's really fun too.
Yeah.
But there's something about the flick, and like it's like, you know what? Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like that just screams that's one little bit of visual flair that shows like this dude is a god and he thinks very highly of himself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Was the projectile in this one or Bone Shaper? I forget. Where he actually uses the little scepter that shoots out the amulet blast, but it's a projectile attack in this. It's either Necromancer
no,
or
yeah,
Bone
that
Shaper.
was the one before this one.
Okay.
That was Bone Shaper.
Okay. So that's the only one where he legitimately has a projectile in its, natural standard sense.
Well, he has the amulet strike though.
The amulet strike doesn't go full screen though, is what I'm saying.
Oh, does it not? Okay.
No.
Okay, well then, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, here in the Necromancer, his only specials for this one is Summon Fiend, the Judgment Flick, and the Devil's Judgment Fist, and the Devil's Flick.
Right.
Those
Judgment Fist. You got to watch out for that thing.
Judgment Fist.
But yeah, they didn't show a fatality for Shinnok, which was disappointing. But
that was disappointing. We also
practice.
didn't get to see any intros with him either.
Correct. I wasn't so disappointed on that just because that could be spoilerish, so that's fine that we didn't see that. But I would have liked to see a fatality just because I just want to see what he's bringing to the table, what kind of creative thing they could come up with. But regardless,
have some fun brutalities too.
Yeah, the game's out so soon, it doesn't bother me anymore.
What did they say? Like 18 days?
Yep.
Oh Lord. I am too ready for that to happen
But
already.
yeah, overall, he looked good. Yeah.
Shinnok has looked good. I'm glad that he doesn't look scrubby. He looks like he's going to be a good character. Good for Shinnok fans.
I just hope Temp is happy with him because Temp's been super anxious to see his gameplay, and he's not a zoner. He's not a full-out zoner, so Temp will be happy with that. So I just hope he's happy more than anything. I was looking forward to Shinnok, but he wasn't the main thing bringing me to the dance by any means. So I'll just be happy if anybody that was really looking forward to him is happy. That would make me happy.
Well, is that it for Shinnok?
Yep, that's it for Shinnok, and it looks like after that we just pretty much had faction.
Yeah, we had a little bit of faction stuff, which is kind of just what we already knew about factions, but actually showing us a little bit more of it instead of just telling us. Which, yeah, that looks cool. It looks and sounds and all that stuff. It looks like it's going to be fun. That's one of the things I'm most excited about with MKX.
Right.
Going online and participating in all this stuff. That's what's going to keep me around and having a lot of fun with this game. Like, story mode's going to be awesome for X amount of hours, a very finite amount of hours, and once that's done, it's all going to be about online and factions for me.
Yeah, I like the little intro videos that they played.
Yeah, that was really cool. They picked the two most boring ones, but that's fine. It makes me want to see what they have for Brotherhood of Shadow, Lin Kuei, and White Lotus.
Right. I wonder if they did that by design.
Probably.
Chose the least popular, unless they don't see it that way. But it'd be hard for me to believe that.
Like, no, I don't think that those two. Maybe they are the least popular. What do I know? Maybe the other ones just said a little bit more than they wanted to say about some stuff right now.
Perhaps it could have been spoilery, but they do start out the game with you being able to watch those, I think, so.
Right,
yeah.
I hope so.
I'd hope they're not spoilery if that's the case.
Yeah, they probably won't be too spoilery, I guess, but I don't know. I'm excited for factions. I'm really excited for factions. They did a few little things, like they confirmed there was gonna be there is a ladder mode for offline people. Like, that's 100% a thing. Don't worry about that. But there were people that were worried about that. I've seen it.
Yeah.
They showed the updated select screen, which there wasn't that much of an update. We only have 4 characters left.
I think that is final. That's going to be final, and I
think you're right, especially because of the update was today, which there's a settings button now.
Yeah, and we've talked about this a lot, just because you've been of the opinion that. You just don't think that character select screen is final, but I think it looks
pretty final. It looks pretty final.
It's final, and they're either going to size down the boxes to accommodate for DLC characters, which is what I would prefer, because then if you squeeze all those boxes together a bit and size them down just a tad each, that would make room for several of them. Just bringing them together in their current size will get you 4 more characters, so that's all the DLC right now. But to get even 4 more, you just have to size every box down by maybe 5 pixels each, and that itself goes a long way. If they don't do that, I hope they put the boxes on the top rows in the middle and just build up from there. It'd look a little weird, but I'd still prefer that over a slider box. I've been running with the MK9 slider box. That's starting to annoy me more and more because there's no blind picking Kenshi.
Right, no.
Because people already know especially people that know who I play, I'm not going to go into that box unless I'm picking Kenshi. So.
Right, you play usually either Liu Kang or Kenshi, and if you hit the DLC box, you're playing Kenshi.
Right, and that just sucks for me. So I and anybody else that has the same issue. So by all means, they better not do that. I would be really disappointed.
I really hope they don't, and I don't think they will, because, like I've said, there's just not really any room to kind of accommodate a pop-out box right now.
Right. Let's hope that's the case.
I do hope that's the case, but yeah, I think the select screen is probably final. I would love to be wrong,
and I'd really hope that question mark doesn't turn into a DLC box that goes straight up into a slider, because I can see that
stupid. I'm not going to put any more money on anything else with this game, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is a settings button now for player 1 and player 2, so that little cog symbol, I think that is probably placeholder. Which is maybe, but like it's so weird because the game is being whatever. So maybe they're still. They are obviously still working from a demo build to some degree.
I could still see that question mark turning into a secret unlockable character once you unlock them. If there is indeed a 26th secret unlockable character.
That's what I'm banking on. Like, because I think that's what's going to happen.
Because Liu Kang and Shinnok aren't secret anymore, and those were the two leading candidates. No. So it's got to be somebody else at this point, I would imagine.
It's probably, it's
somebody,
probably Baraka.
No.
No?
No.
Okay, probably not Baraka, I guess. We'll see. You mean, you know who I want it to be.
Fujin?
That's right. Good job, man.
I don't think it's Fujin. I think it's...
I thought you were going to make a joke and it was going to be funny. But...
Oh, man. I think it's going to be somebody that we're least expecting. Something like a Shao Kahn from
I don't want it to be Shao Kahn. I really don't want it to be Shao Kahn.
Or perhaps like a Havoc, maybe. If he's playing
Havoc, yes.
If he's playing a bigger role in the game than we know thus far, then perhaps him or somebody new completely. I don't think it's going to be a Fujin, Smoke, Cyrax, Bo Raicho, or any character like that. I don't see them saving that as a super secret character.
I wouldn't be... I don't know. Like, I wouldn't be blown away if it was Smoke, actually.
Maybe like a throwback.
He was, yeah, as a throwback. Like, he was there at MK3, and, like, a lot of people like him, obviously. And he has an updated thing. A lot of people have updated shit in the game, but, like, no, that wouldn't surprise me as much as, like, a Baraka would. I don't know. We'll find out. But I do think it is another character. I think there's one more character that is going to go in that spot.
Yeah.
I hope so, because I don't want to lose $20. Then what else? That's pretty much it.
Well, one more thing we got to see is an awesome faction kill.
We did. We saw another faction kill. They confirmed that there were multiple faction kills.
Which excites me, because what are Lin Kuei's and Brotherhood's? Those are the only two that I'm really excited to see.
White Lotus. What the White Lotus would be like. Raiden comes down and all of them. Dude, what if it's fucking Fujin?
That would be cool. See,
Fujin is every single one of the White Lotus faction kills.
See, that would be cool. Brotherhood Shadow could have something Raiko related. Lin Kuei could have something Cyrax or Smoke related. There's some room for those types of things.
It could, but then again, it's like, well, if that happens, then they're not going to be DLC most likely.
Maybe.
What are they gonna? You can't have Smoke doing a faction kill.
I understand
and Smoke
what you're saying. I get the concept. It's just I don't know.
Do you?
I'm not even gonna get into DLC because I want to remain in a good mood.
Okay.
No, but the faction
kills was very good, and
I love that Cassie just points her hand out like a gun. It almost made me think of Crank, where he just points the gun and then just pretends to shoot it like it's a real gun, and then the guy legitimately gets shot. I think that's really cool, and that's what I kind of thought of when she did that, because all of a sudden the dude's knees just get completely obliterated, and then a giant hole goes through your chest, bigger than any damn hole we've seen. Giggity.
And like those faction videos, like it's just real quick, like it's just another example of the kind of polish and love that's gone into this game. They keep those cool videos with the narration. They're going in and they're talking about their own lore in a nice way and setting up. They're doing some nice world building. Especially, that's something we really need for the reboot, because there's a lot of that we just don't understand. Does this still exist? How does this work now?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff like that. I'm glad to see them working on their own world and putting that time into developing it.
Yeah, indeed.
Was there anything else? I mean, just reviewing the stream itself. It was a fun stream, and we had some really good matches there at the end. From Tyler and Derek.
Yeah, Tyler finally won. I was happy to see that. I always root for the underdog, and it's about time he pulled through. I was so freaking scared. It came down to the very last round of the last fight.
Good fight, man.
I was just biting my nails. I don't bite my nails, but figuratively, I was biting my nails, and it was good. I was so happy for him. So that's
somebody had put some time in the dojo. You can tell.
Indeed, it looked really good. And if this is his only win, like as in week wise, if this is the only stream he walks away a winner, at least he has that. So that's really cool. I bet he feels good, and that's awesome.
Oh, I saw his Twitter picture afterwards.
Yeah, he definitely feels good about it. And
he's feeling himself a little bit.
So that's really cool. That's really cool. But other than that, yeah, no, there was nothing else. We know that the next stream's going to be next week, but it's going to be mobile-based.
Is it going to be only mobile stuff?
I doubt it, but I don't know. What could they talk about for a full hour of mobile? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm going to watch it, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not twisting my nipples with excitement, but...
No, I'm not. Like, I've seen everything that I've kind of wanted to see, except for... Well, no, I haven't seen Goro and Kenshi, but...
Yeah, Goro and Kenshi are the last two for me. That Jackie has me intrigued in the sense that I still want to see something that really sells me on her, but I think we will see Jax, Jackie, and Sonya. But you got to ask yourself, who are they going to save for the game? So...
Right, like...
They have to show Goro, one would have to think, unless they're just going to purely sell him on name value alone. But... regardless, yes,
Right, so I guess that's it for the stream. Well, guys, thanks for listening and watching whatever video you might be seeing right now. I don't know, I haven't done it yet.
Yep, like, subscribe, do all those things that we never tell you to do because I'm awful at it.
you really cool dudes that always give us a thumb down. You guys do that. Don't stop.
All right, yeah. I mean, I'd love to hear why you dislike us, but I mean, we could at least attempt to change if it's reasonable. But
if it's reasonable, but if you want to stay mysterious, that's cool too. And
if it's because we're complaining, then we're positive 95% of the time. So if that 5%,
I never complain.
But we get thumbs downs on every video, so this is a moot point. It's always like the same 2 to 5 people. It feels like.
Yes.
But regardless.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next time. Goodbye.
Yep. You guys take care.
Fatality.